I was up close with someone who was in a manic episode, and he had paranoid schizophrenia. He thought I was a Nazi. He thought it was snowing outside, and he was like screaming at me.
It's happening.
So like,
Making it.
is this like, you know, you don't want to break the fourth wall?
You can break the fourth wall. Go ahead and break it.
Would you guys?
Now feels like the right time for that. I want the blue one.
I think that's blueberry.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's a Tootsie Pop.
And I don't like Tootsie Pops.
I was happy about it.
Good.
It's blueberry.
I get annoyed when people are mad about the Tootsie Pops.
I prefer blow pops, if you will.
And good morning, Baltimore. We are here.
Okay, go on. Welcome back to the Love Heals podcast, your behind-the-scenes look into what it takes to start a nonprofit from the ground up and all the details in between. Today, we have a very special guest. Many of you know the personalities it takes to run Love Heals. Courtney and I kind of both bring our big personalities to the table, but what you don't know is that there once was another. We had a third roommate, Kelly, and she's here with us today, visiting for the weekend.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we used to live together.
We did, and you lived with us when I wasn't a part of Love Heals. Or I lived with you guys. I moved in with you two.
Yeah. She needs to get it right.
I came in off
It was a little bold.
the streets. Yeah.
Yeah, when Sarah moved in, she was supposed to live with somebody else because you had somebody who was going to move in, and I just wanted to get out of the basement because it was full of bugs.
It was full of bugs.
Found out that the window was open the whole time.
Window was broken.
The window
for
was
the whole
literally
time we
open the
lived
whole
there.
time, but
That
I was
fun.
like, if I could get out of this basement full of bugs, it'll
Do
be
you guys
fine.
think we would have saved on electric had we known?
100%.
Yes, because I was trying to run that little window unit because I was dying down there. But yeah.
It made sense why there was like snakes and bugs in the carpet. All right, Sarah, what questions do you have for Kelly?
Yeah, do you guys actually have questions for me?
Well,
They did tell me I could just do stream of consciousness, but that's dangerous.
you always
love-
can just do stream of consciousness.
That could be a segment.
Da Kelly stream of consciousness.
Wait,
Let's go.
I used to do like high school morning announcements, and I would always come on the PA system and be like, "Diddle-dee-dee-dee-dee. Good morning, Liberty High School. This is Kelly speaking with your morning announcements. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance." Do people still do that? Do your kids still do Pledge of Allegiance in public school?
I don't think so. I doubt it
I find myself not wandering through public schools often.
anymore.
I'll be back in those. And I'll be running them like no other. Yeah.
Kelly, why don't you tell people what you do, but in the stream of how you do the announcements?
So I, Kelly Woodburn, am from Maryland. What state is Old Line State? Sure.
Old what?
But I don't know. You know how each state has like a name?
Yeah.
I think that's what ours is called.
But what was it?
The Old Line. I don't know if that's
I
right.
think it has to do with like...
Lines.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what do you think it has to do?
Anyways, right now I work with special needs adults.
Yay!
They're sweet.
I don't want to hit the button.
They're
I guess
sweet and
it's fine.
tender. Yeah, it is kind of far. And then we're also doing our masters in school counseling and clinical mental health. And so we're almost done. Kidding. We'll be done in May of 2027.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize you still had that much more school.
It's like a 3.5-year program. It doesn't stop.
That's like a long
Well,
time.
it stops after 3.5 years.
I know.
Yeah.
It is a long time, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of over it. But then I have to test for my license to be like a therapist.
Are you going to stay in Maryland?
I don't know. I don't want to, but I don't really know where else I'd want to go. I used to want to go to North Carolina, but that's just,
Oh yeah, you wanted to move to Wilmington, right?
I know. I don't, that's
nice.
so far away.
But that would be fun.
It would be fun.
It would be fun.
Well,
Is
there
that
you
like
have it,
in the
folks.
cards for me? I don't know. I might just quit everything and become a hang gliding instructor.
Have you ever hang glid?
I did this summer.
Was
in
it fun?
Hawaii?
No,
Oh.
but I went snorkeling in Hawaii.
Oh. What it
Guys, hang gliding was cool.
is That when you jump off of a cliff with a
Give me this.
parasail type
Take it
thing.
off really quick.
Yeah, you're like, and your body's like,
So sterile and stoic.
yeah, and so, yeah, you're not allowed to smile when you hang glide.
Yeah, it's
You have to be very serious because otherwise the birds might mistake you for.
How many times did you glide?
7.
Really?
Where?
In the Outer
many
Banks.
times.
So like you can do the dunes and then you can do like tandem.
Okay, wait. Do you pay per glide or do you pay
No,
per hour?
Pay per like session. So like the tandem was its own and that's like an hour and a half. And then the dunes were like 2 or 3 hours.
Wait,
Wow.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
It was fun, but it also made me realize how out of shape I was. Because, oh my gosh, you're just trucking up those dunes.
I mean, it's sand,
up-
right? Like,
Sand is hard to walk on when it's flat. So
yeah, and the dunes are big. Like you feel like you're in a desert. You don't realize how big the dunes are.
I didn't realize the Outer Banks had dunes.
No, they're huge.
I don't think I've been to the Outer Banks.
yes, you have.
I have?
That's where you guys went on that beach trip before you met me.
In Kitty Hawk?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Kitty Hawk Kites. Wait, okay,
There
so
were
let's
no
do
dunes.
Well, you just weren't at the right
You have
place.
to pay for them and then they show you.
Yeah.
I have to subscribe.
No, you can actually go
Yeah.
because it's like a state park or something. I don't know. It's cool, and the Wright brothers were with me in spirit.
They were teaching
Love
you to
them.
fly.
On either side
I
of
mean,
you.
think about it.
Yeah.
Had the Wright brothers not done that and they sold their ideas to the government, would we be able to fly right now?
Probably, but for
Talk
more
about
money.
Conspiracy theories.
Oh my gosh, Courtney would love to talk about conspiracy
Okay, well,
theories.
who's keeping the mattress stores in business?
Wait, is this a
Not
conspiracy I don't know about?
Yeah, have you heard about the mattress stores? Like, who's buying mattresses?
What are people sleeping on?
Mattresses. But listen, it's so popular to just order them online now and like get them and they pop open and they.
Yeah,
But
those are fun to watch.
I prefer those instead. Then they're cheaper instead of spending
so
thousands of dollars on a
cheaper.
spring
I
mattress.
got my mattress from Sam's Club.
So, but what are we conspiring that is keeping them open? The mattress stores.
Money laundering?
The laundromats.
How was it living with us?
So I mean, the three of us were fully together for what, 1 year? It felt like a lifetime though, didn't it? I was making spaghetti and meat sauce and eating it with ranch.
I was frying things and you were allergic to it.
Gosh, yeah, we had that fried night. You looked like you were gonna die.
Well, okay, it stunk the whole house up.
And your eyes would just water. And I was like, I need to stop
it
doing
hurt.
this. So I just stopped doing it. I didn't realize how painful it was for you.
Have you ever walked into a room with fried things? Or you know, like the oil, I swear the oil molecules get in the air.
I was all right, but you were like bloodshot and like tears. Like you did
I
not
must
look.
have blacked this out.
You literally, I walked in the kitchen and you had that tiny side window open with your head out of it. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? You turned around and you were like crying.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, we can't do this. We were like fanning stuff. We had the fan on.
Fan the flame.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Liberty song, right?
I don't know. What's that guy? Fingertip? Q-tip.
Humble. They call him fingertip? Ew.
Is he still here?
I don't know. You're asking us questions like we know.
I hope not. He sounds
I
terrifying.
thought you guys were more involved with
What?
Liberty.
No,
With
they won't
Lynchburg.
touch us with a 10-foot pole.
Are you for real?
Well, their nursing department will.
Oh yeah, we work well with their nursing department, but otherwise they're a little too big for
We
us
can't
at this
afford them.
moment.
Thank you, Liberty, for bringing us together.
Really, though.
That's true.
Did
Were
you
you
at Liberty?
I did. I was out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When-
She was. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
Courtney's older. She's our mom.
I am.
We call her mommy.
Well, I think just you do. But
yeah,
that's
I call
okay.
her Court.
Yeah, living with you guys was an adventure because we all were also doing our own thing.
Yeah.
But we lived in this quaint little house.
It was so cute.
Off McCausland.
And we had a neighbor named David. And he was like 40, maybe 50. But at the time, he was dating a woman.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I remember this now.
And
Yeah.
did he give you guys his number? He was like, he came up to me one day. I walked home from work. He was like, it was supposed to be you and me. And I was like, David.
I do remember that.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
That's
and I said,
crazy.
Kelly, don't text him. Weren't you gonna go to like barbecue at his house or something? Am I making that
I
up?
love making friends with my neighbors. Because at the end of the day,
matter what.
everyone
Yeah.
should meet your neighbor.
You should.
Shout out Mr. Rogers. Everyone should meet your neighbor.
R.I.P.
for real.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had our other neighbor Ryan, who brought me a lukewarm paper plate full of ham one day.
He was so sweet.
He was a sweet gentleman.
Super
He
nice.
was a good dude.
Yeah.
So you were working at Starbucks, and Sarah was working at what?
I was
tech company.
Yeah, I was doing marketing for a tech company. So I worked from home. And your schedule, honestly, a lot of days I would be working in the kitchen and you would be in your room and we were just like
We would discuss
We
from
would
afar.
discuss.
Yapping.
Yeah, and Court, you were working at
I'm not
the
a big home person
garden?
ever, so I was at the garden,
Yes, you were at the garden and the gym.
in the gym,
And
and
Courtney was also like
dying. That was during my secret sick years where I was like, I feel so ill, but I don't want to actually talk about it because if I talk about it, then I'll be really ill. So I'll just suffer in silence.
Mental game.
It's a mental game, really. So
It is. with
I
some
would just
things.
like sleep all the time, or I'd feel dizzy almost all the time.
I didn't know you
I
felt
swear,
sick for a
you
long time.
for sure had mono or something.
It was like
yeah.
literally 9 straight months of like the room kind of spinning on and off. So, but then I tried going to the doctors, but it was like right pre-COVID or past COVID. And when I went in and I told them my symptoms, they're like, it's not bad enough to see you. Listen, we are better now. We are doing just fine. So
Do you still have like all your supplements? Because you like.
I do not take as many now. That was crazy.
That's probably good.
Yeah, I was taking like everything. And I was drinking bone broth,
You
I
were
remember
trying
that.
very strict morning diet of like blueberries, walnuts.
oranges.
Courtney was on
oranges.
bone broth before bone broth was big.
I was with quinoa, some
Trendsetter.
onion.
She is a trendsetter.
Yeah.
No, I was just really sick. And I was like, I'll try anything. What really helped though is I started running. And I think getting the oxygen up to my, like, because people were like, you need to rest. But the more I rest, the worse it got. So I needed to start like doing something for my cardiovascular. And honestly, running really helped get me out of that headspace. So we also think I might have low iron, but like, neither
Courtney doesn't
confirmed.
like the doctor.
I hate the doctor.
Wait, did we all used to like donate plasma?
I think that was you and Lena.
I never did. I thought about it though.
I would pass out like every time.
Are you
do
supposed
it.
to
And they're like, that'll be the
No.
best $50 I ever made.
Wait, how much do you actually make when you donate plasma?
It wasn't a lot at all, and you could only go a certain amount. I think like most you could make was $800.
That's a lot.
But my veins were so bad.
In one sitting?
No, it was like over consecutive.
I might go. And we
yeah.
had one, I think it was one day where we all were moving because you moved across the hall to a different room.
Yeah.
Courtney moved from the basement up to your room, and I moved into the basement because I had a bad living situation at the time and I was desperate. So I didn't care about the basement full of bugs. I was angry.
I'm just glad she was willing to move into the basement. I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Desperation does amazing things to your stamina. And I was,
I still can't believe that.
it was crazy.
But the rent was so cheap.
It was cheap.
It was so cheap.
One thing about Lynchburg is cheap. The cost
sure
of
is.
living is very low.
I think that's why it's hard to leave. So speaking of
is.
that, then what prompted you to exit make your exit debut of Lynchburg?
So I loved my time in Lynchburg. I'm very grateful for it, but it was also really hard. It was the beginning of the decline of my brain cells. My mental health was nosediving big time. And so by the time I was moving out of here, I was like, it was just bad. So moving home was good because I needed to start my master's.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do it at Liberty because I already had my undergrad at Liberty. I wanted some variety. And also, after some things happened with Liberty, it was just some people, variety's good on a resume. And
That's
so, we graduated 2020. So that was a big year for a lot of reasons. All graduates of all kinds, the world in general, and Liberty University for some reasons. And so I was like, I'm going to go home because there's a lot more medical big names around us too. And at the time I thought I wanted to do rehab, like substance abuse and addiction stuff. And so I moved home and was in an actual all-time low mentally, but home was good for me. It was like let's pause, take a breath, and we're still taking that breath, but like we're starting to exhale, which is good.
That's awesome. So was it did COVID contribute to the what would you say happened exactly?
So nothing was related to COVID. Realistically, COVID was awesome to me in some ways because quarantine brought a whole new group of friends that I am still friends with today. Mm-hmm. And it was like a cycling out of old friends that were just unhealthy friendships. Yeah. And God brought in a whole lot of new people. And so quarantine was so much fun. I loved it. Granted, my dearest grandmother also passed away from COVID. And so it was like, COVID was COVID. Yeah. It was tough for everyone. Yeah. And it's like you look at life pre-COVID, post-COVID now. And so COVID did not necessarily contribute to my mental health. And actually, I think the biggest dip in my mental health was February. So right before quarantine went into effect. Oh. And then I went on medication. So that was an experience because, like, I had to do all that virtually. And I also had to start therapy up virtually.
That's not fun.
It wasn't my favorite, but I had, like, previously only ever done therapy in person. So I had that experience, and I had that rapport with the therapist because it was my high school therapist. And
Oh, that's cool.
Do you feel like therapy's better in person or virtually?
100%.
Okay, that's how I feel.
I love the flexibility that virtual offers, but there's a big connection piece that you end up missing if you're not able to be there in person, unfortunately.
Yeah, energy too. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have a question. Mental health and faith, what does that look like for you?
I should have brought up all my books.
Yeah, give them some books. Yeah, all 2.
I only read
She brought
2
4 books for a 3-day weekend.
Okay, listen, sometimes I'm like, what if I get stuck? Like, what if my car breaks down?
That's
and
good.
I need to read.
And what would I have to read if my car was broken down and I had no books?
That's literally how my brain works. I'm like, well, what if I have, like, someone needs to give me a ride and I want to talk to them about this?
I need references.
She's planning for her future.
No, I think it's good. I like that you brought books.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, obviously this is a tangent I've been on for years. So my undergrad is in psychology. Yeah. With a focus in substance abuse and addiction counseling. And my master's is in school counseling and clinical mental health. And so I got the undergrad at Liberty, so we had all the biblical worldview integrated. And then also, I was able to integrate my own. Then I decided to go to a secular school to see just what the world was up to.
And what was it up to?
What they're doing over there?
What are you doing today?
Yeah, it is.
Let me tell you, psychology, the world of psychology is interesting. There's a massive, and this could be controversial, but there's a lot of it's just it's all internal. I mean, a lot of it is internal, but like it's very me focused. Me, like blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And very self-help. Like if you ever go to Barnes & Noble or any bookstore, I hate looking at the psychology section because it's just like crap. It's just
very
junk.
Validating. It's like self-validation.
And don't get me wrong, like emotions are important. You need to acknowledge them. You need to feel them. But they're not the end all be all. Mm-hmm. And so like psychology and theology, they go together like they're BFFs. Mm-hmm. I mean, God created psychology. He created all of it. So at the end of the day, God cares about your mental health, ladies.
No, that's not true.
What? God does. Let me tell you.
One of those conspiracies
Sarah.
Again.
We're going back to that. But so there's a book that I love, and it kind of changed my mindset, or just the way that I view a lot of psychology and spiritual growth in general. It's called How People Grow. Oh. I think everyone should read it, and it's like what the Bible says about human growth. Mm-hmm. And it's written by Henry Cloud and John Townsend. Okay. And they are 2 super solid guys, both clinical psychologists who also went to seminary. Yes. And so there is a difference between biblical counseling and like a Christian counselor. Because Christian counselors, you get all the psych background, you get the clinical experience. Whereas a biblical counselor, you're, in like layman's terms, you're continually pointing someone back to like verses in scripture, which is important, obviously, but you're not qualified to handle like like it's all serious, but you're not qualified to handle like major depressive
like someone
disorder.
Who needs
like
medication.
Yes.
Or,
Yeah. And so biblical counselors have a place, but they're not like I think with what's happening today and the way that the mental health like stuff is growing, going to a biblical counselor can be a fine line to walk. And I'm learning that a lot of people don't know what to look for when it comes to counselors in general.
Okay.
Which is interesting because the more I hear, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of bad therapists out there.
Right.
Yeah. What are the things that you think people should be looking for?
Good question. I need to like compile something and like be like, here, if you're looking for a therapist, look for this. And so I've had a lot of friends come to me like asking what they should look for. And so many therapists specialize in just depression and anxiety these days. Those are obviously the two big things.
Yeah, those are the heavy hitters.
They are. They're very common, and they're growing. And so a lot of there's a trillion billion different approaches to therapy these days.
Yeah.
And so you kind of want someone who can like. Unfortunately, therapy is similar to medication. There's trial and error.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good rapport with your therapist, which it's not your fault, it's not their fault. It's just, okay, sometimes you don't mesh with someone. Nix it. Like find someone else. Keep shopping, okay? So like I think that's probably one of the biggest things. If you also have a therapist who is continually like who's not challenging you in any way and who's not kind of just like giving you the hard truths in like gentle ways if needed. Get out of there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you have someone who's going to like affirm and like every single thing, you're not in the right place either.
Yeah.
Granted, therapists should be pro you because they're getting your side of the story, but they need to be taking a little bit of an objective stance. That's also the benefit of a therapist. They can give you an outside perspective and kind of help you reframe. Reframing's good. Perspective's important. And so, I mean, I could go into all the theory, the biggest one right now is cognitive behavioral therapy. And that's essentially, like, behavior therapy. So for cognitive behavioral therapy, you're identifying your thought patterns, how that affects your behavior, essentially. And so you do, like, these thought charts where you'll identify thought, like how it presents itself in your body and your behavior, and then you're going to like negate it with another thought and basically do that as a cycle. Because your brain's cool.
Yeah.
It has a lot of plasticity. So you're continually like creating new neural patterns. And so that one's really popular and it's good. I think a lot of people, you guys know I love attachment theory.
Right.
And so
Big
fan of attachment theory. I think a lot of people would do well to learn why they do what they do. So in the book that I suggested, the How People Grow, like their whole spiel is how essentially, especially as a church, like the universal church, if you want to heal and grow in any sort of aspect of your life, you need to do it in community. And if you're not doing it with those people in a healthy way, because at the end of the day, like, we're not perfect, unfortunately.
Crazy.
I mean, like,
This is
Courtney
news.
kind of is.
Yeah, low key.
Ever since she, like, got better from whatever her 9-month illness
My
was.
demon.
Right, LaRonda?
Don't say demon.
Oh, that's another thing that's interesting. Like, a lot of people. So I worked at, like, a psychiatric hospital for a while. Like, I worked at Shepherd Pratt, which is a really, like, that's a good one. She's a good one. And that was another reason I went back home, because that's close to home. And I don't have, like, that was my first experience of, I was in the young adults unit right next to the psychotic disorders unit, and they had overflow one day. And so I was up close with someone who was in a manic episode, and he had paranoid schizophrenia. He thought I was a Nazi. He thought it was snowing outside, and he was like screaming at me, had like soiled his pants, like he was actually foaming at the mouth.
That's crazy.
He comes up to me, and I kid you not, I felt this like wall go between me, and the only way I can explain it was like it was the Holy Spirit,
right?
Like essentially. And so like you have psychotic disorders like that, where, okay, I'm like, yeah, I kind of do believe in the whole demon. Like I get why people think a lot of mental health is demon related.
She and I talk about that a lot, actually.
Really?
Constantly. Well,
Yeah.
I'm like, what is, so like you have the Bible, right?
Yeah.
You read it, and there's like, I think of Jesus casting out the demon of the one woman who had the hunchback. And the demonic oppression manifested as a physical ailment where she couldn't stand straight. And when he cast the demon out, she stands straight. I like to question and wrestle through things. So I'm like, what does treatment of mind, body, and spirit look like in a modern world where we don't, especially in a Western culture, assign a lot of we don't give spirit realm a lot of attention. So I'm like, where is it that demonic forces are running free with people's literal chemicals?
Yeah.
That we aren't addressing because we call it this and then we medicate it. It's kind of like I'm really interested in holistic approaches to things.
Yeah.
So like, okay, maybe instead of taking a bunch of ibuprofen, what's the actual holistic root issue? So anyway, what are your thoughts on like, do you have other thoughts on like the spiritual versus the, how's that look like in your worldview?
So like back to the biblical counseling, it's interesting because I have had so many people tell me that they're struggling with this, that, and whatever, and they'll go to like leadership in the church or ask for help, and they have continually been told, oh, it's a problem with your faith. You're not, if you're anxious over this, you're not trusting God enough.
And that's super toxic.
Extremely damaging.
It's not cool.
Okay, sure, at the end of the day, pride is the root of all sin. Shout out to Andrew Murray. That's another good book. But that's like 100 steps forward. Like, I think a big thing about therapists is you're giving people these like a pathway to essentially like work through healing, and because at the end they were all broken, and so we're continually trying to fix in different ways. And another like approach and outlook that I have is through the addiction lens, because, well, we'll get into that if we have time, but like a holistic approach I think is the best approach. And so my therapist, I love her because she is very much so, okay, like what are you putting into your body food wise, how are you moving your body daily, and like food wise also could be like, okay, what are you reading, like are you spending time with God,
like how are you feeding your mind as well,
like what are you listening to, what are you watching? And right now I'm on a little bit of a worship like music bender, and so when
you do keep singing that stuff while you've been here.
I sought the Lord
so many times.
But now Courtney won't stop. The whole time we were in Richmond, she wouldn't stop singing that. I was like, cut it out.
Listen, you're welcome.
It's catchy.
It's catchy. But like so much of that affects the way that it's, so like I'm gonna be candid, I do not like reading the Bible in the sense that, I mean, it's just like another
It's a little
thing.
boring sometimes.
But I started the Bible recap with Tara Lee Cabo.
Me too.
That's really
That's
good.
the only way I read the Bible.
And
Because otherwise I'm lost.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what am I reading? When am I reading it? How long do I read it for?
And I have
Too many questions.
Yeah. I have a really bad habit of trying to absorb too much. And the fact that she's like, okay, like focus on God's character. And like, so we're finishing up Genesis because I started literally a month ago. And
That's awesome.
It's just so crazy to see how God is like continually like, we're disgusting. Like, sure, you hear about the big names like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, but like, and they're great like God used them over and over. But like all the little details in between, like they were deceitful, they were like gross.
People suck.
We do suck.
You suck.
And so like continually, by the time I'm done reading each day, I'm like, God, you really like us.
This is embarrassing. You kind of like us a lot.
But it's just, I don't know. It's been cool. I recommend that. Anyone should read it in that way. But so yeah, the holistic approach, best approach in my opinion. I recently did a paper on major depressive disorder in adolescents and like the treatment plan that I would use. And another like popular thing right now is somatic therapy and EMDR therapy, which is very central nervous system focused. And I was explaining this to my mom about how the world that we live in, people are just becoming more and more disconnected with their emotions, their body, like who they are. Like once we invited sin into the world, like the identity crisis came along with it.
Yeah.
And I was listening to this pastor the other day, specifically on the topic of shame, and he was talking about how like Satan is he's the deceiver. So he's continually like hitting you with, you didn't lie, you're a liar. Like you didn't cheat, you're a cheater. And so it's like he's continually trying to replace your identity. And so like people love putting their identity in anything but God. And like that's a continual human thing that we have to work through over and over and over. And that's the same with the mental health stuff. Yeah. People love using, oh, well, I'm doing this because and it's great to understand why you're doing something. But I don't really remember why I said that. But. So another thing is like, yeah, we're over medicated. And therapy is one person. you're having therapy with, whatever. Sometimes you're integrating or bringing in the people that you may need to work through stuff with. But in that book, their whole thing is like healing needs to be done with people.
Yeah.
So like you can't like Satan thrives in isolation, and so like you have God created community, created relationship. Like you have the Trinity, then you have like we were created to like be in relationship first with Him and then with others, and then you have all those verses. I'm so bad at verses. I told myself I was gonna be better about memorizing scripture, but we're working on it.
I gave up. I just paraphrase them. I'm like, that one that's like this?
Yeah, well, like, we're the body of Christ. And so it's like where one part is hurting, like the other part the rest needs to come around and help heal.
Yeah.
And in that healing, that's where like growth comes from. Because with the only way that you can grow is if like God's kind of in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel like it's just you're putting Band-Aids over things.
And it's like a lot of work.
Oh my gosh.
Constant.
Yeah. Well, like, and recently I'm working through a lot of stuff within the past, just like a lot of stuff right now, and it's been great. But at one point, I was like, God, first of all, can you relax first?
I'm tired.
Like, please. but also like I was just like, am I gonna ever heal? Like, am I gonna heal the way that I'm supposed to with you? And I just felt Him like press upon my heart, just be like, yes, but it's gonna be painful. And it's going to take time. And so I countered that with like, how? Like, how do I do this? And it was just like, eyes up.
Right.
Like, otherwise, you're not going to be able to.
Right.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's like introducing the law of entropy, which is just like the world we live in, which everything's always sliding. Everything's always out of reach, and you have to intentionally reach to. And that goes for your mental, your physical, your spiritual. Like, basically nothing will stay.
Yeah.
And that's hard to deal. Like, that's a result of the fall.
Yeah.
Everything we build will eventually crumble. Like, we'll have to keep repaving the roads, and we'll have to keep eating healthy. Like, you can't just do it once and then you're fine. So there is a level of work. I know, but it is like constant work
But
that
like,
you have
that's
to
like
come
a
to terms
good thing, though, because within that you learn discipline and self-control and let's say the fruits of the Spirit together. Love, joy, peace. No, I'm kidding. Either way, self-control.
I just got PTSD back to when I joined a private school after going to public
what's
school.
been stuck in my head recently? I am a seed.
No, don't start her on that.
I was singing that song the other day. She's on a worship bender,
Yeah, but I did. What did I listened to some Leonard Skinner the other day. And I was like,
that's so funny.
Yeah. So
What'd you learn from listening to Leonard Skinner?
just so like I was like, wow, this is a good like windows down driving song. But let's go back to I sought the Lord and He heard.
She'll have her debut album out maybe in a couple weeks.
And then she'll be sued because that's not her song.
Yeah, who sings that?
I have no earthly idea.
No,
I've never known.
idea.
I've never known.
All right, here's a question then.
Well, no, I was gonna say my thing if that's okay.
Why don't you
with
guys raise your hands and I'll pick?
I was just gonna say, going back to the holistic thing.
Do tell.
I feel like the other thing as far as like Christian counseling versus secular counseling is people like you either swing really far this way or you swing really far the other way, and no one actually intertwines them both well. I'm sure Christian counselors versus biblical. Sorry if I said it backwards either. No. Biblical counseling, but I feel like you either go to biblical counseling and you get all the just direction back to scripture, or like you're not trusting the Lord enough, or you go to a like secular counselor and it's very like self-affirming, self-validating, and it's really hard to find that middle ground, which to me would be the more holistic approach. So that's just not a question, it's just a personal bummer as far as people going to biblical counseling for me, because I struggle with that, like people going to that, because to me it just feels like they get misdirection for a lot of things.
No, I agree. I think a lot of churches, the more that I have learned and talked to like people, a lot of churches are just unequipped, unfortunately, in that area. And I like fully believe that the church should be on the front lines of this, because like the mental health crisis is just growing. Yeah. And kids are getting like diagnosed with more and more younger and younger.
Yeah, that's true.
like suicide rates are going up still, and it's just and so it plays into because it all plays into each other. It trickles down. Like your mental health does affect your physical health
and vice versa.
Yeah. And so I mean, the way that God created our brains is like literally movement, releases endorphins and stuff like that. So it's like God did all that on purpose. He is purposeful.
I always like to run things through the lens of like, you have the biblical worldview, and then you have people who don't believe the same thing as me, but still being able to pull truth, because I believe God is truth, so it like transcends. So how do you have these conversations with people who don't share the same background as faith, but like how do you pull out kind of the bones?
Question. Like I had mentioned attachment theory earlier, and because so much, like I fully believe that growth needs to be done with people, specifically, like first and foremost, the church. Like the church needs to be better advocates of a lot of this stuff. And I like usually if I have those conversations with people, I'm always asking about their relationships. Like, how do you handle conflict? Like, what does how do you communicate? Like, is it effective? Oh my gosh, people are so poor. I mean, I can't say I'm like a poster child, but like it's just crazy because like you have social media and all of that stuff, and people. It's such a good substitute. Like it makes people think that they're connected in ways that they're not. And so I love asking people, like, how are you raised? Like, what's your, like, tell me about your family life. And it's interesting because therapy, like there's so many different approaches to it, and a lot of people do like multimodal stuff. So they'll bring in all sorts of techniques, all sorts of theories, depending on the circumstances and the patient and or client, I don't know, whatever. And so my brain just went hijacked. But so like you'll have some people that won't like focus on the past at all, and so it's very much present and like where do you want to get. But I fully believe that like you kind of need to at least sift through some things in the past. So I do. I mean, I like having those conversations. I like learning about the way people interact with the world around them, both with themselves, like internally and externally. Interpersonal relationship skills are lacking as well. And so, like there's like literal studies on the decline of motivation and like people just communicating and relating effectively. And so because so much of why we were created was relationally. Like I like to talk about relationships with people.
Have you seen that thing called the Gen Z stare?
No, did you just give it to me?
No, it's just cross-eyed. No, it's like a thing now that Gen Zs won't respond to you or answer you, but they'll just stare at you as a response.
Like they mean to do that?
Yes, it's literally just they like mean mug you. That's and rude. I saw it on it's so That's disrespectful. Really I saw it covered on we were at Courtney's grandparents' house, and they watch Fox News like it's air. Like they need it. And I was just sitting there getting hit with insanity. I was like,
you're doing the Gen Z
and then they covered the Gen Z stare on Fox, which was felt unnecessary.
It was crazy that it made it to like
they were like, have you heard of that? And I was like, no. And then they explained it, and it literally is just like, if you say something to them, they just.
Another thing on the news, I don't know what from where, but just about how more and more like younger generations are completely cutting off family members, parents, all this stuff. And boundaries, trigger trauma, like. People love those words. They're big buzzwords
keywords,
right now. And they're also overused and misused a lot of times. Gaslighting.
100%,
Like, and so it's just interesting because healthy boundaries are important. Like, people need to learn healthy boundaries, but that doesn't mean completely, like,
cutting out.
People weaponize the boundaries. What they do is they'll like say that it's a boundary for me, but in reality they're creating something that you have to do to make them like comfortable.
Giving you an identity as like a toxic person.
Well, they tell you like, if you don't do this, you're affecting my boundaries, which in reality, like your boundaries are for you, and they're things like set for you to follow. So if you want to not talk to that person, that's fine, but you can't put it on them to not, like, it's very reversed.
It's so
it's
interesting.
yucky.
It is yucky.
yucks me out.
Yucky.
People weaponize things that are supposed to be actually healthy.
I also feel like we're in like competition now, or maybe not now. Maybe it's always been this way, but like everyone's competing to be the most traumatized or to have the hardest childhood.
Everyone loves a good one-upper.
And I used to be like that too, not necessarily in that way, but I was for sure like in the workaholic realm of like, I only slept 4 hours last night, like as if that's something to be praised. And now that I have stepped out of that and have started to be more proud of myself for eating well and for sleeping, like it's a big win when you go to bed and you wake up at the time you set for yourself, not work yourself to the point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
But like you really have to, again, I think it goes back to the identity thing. Like you identify as the thing that happened to you when you were 7, or you identify as the person who has value because look how tired I am. That means I have that. It's really sad.
Yeah, and that reminds me of like a conversation I was having recently. Maybe it was you guys. About how like we just applaud stuff like that at this rate. It's like, oh, if you're stressed because you're working 70,000 hours a week.
Oh yeah, you and I were talking about that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You're worth it.
You've made it.
You're succeeding.
The train.
The train is here.
Go ahead and pack yourself up, Kelly. We're sending you on a train.
Miranda.
You scheduled it too early, LaRonda.
But yeah, I mean, we live in a completely upside down, topsy turvy world.
Super
It's getting
topsy-turvy.
more and more. I think the like truth is loud in a subtle way. I feel like, especially the truth that we know in terms of like God and who He is, and it's becoming more and more muffled with the world that we're living in.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti-technology in any way. Technology is great. But it's scary. Social media is scary. Like we were one of the last generations that grew up without it.
I think we were we rolled into it kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I got my first iPhone. I mean, I had an iPod Touch in 5th grade. But like if I was bored, it was go outside, read a book, do some chores. But we didn't have cable. We didn't have video games. We got a Wii one year, but my brothers broke it.
Lame.
They suck.
I know they do. But like, I don't know. People need to
Touch
some
grass.
Go touch grass.
Go
touch
friends
grass.
with people. And
Go
also,
talk to people.
If you're only friends with people who are continually like who aren't challenging you and being honest with you, do some self-reflection.
The friends who just, she and I have also talked about this, the friends who just validate and don't actually have a conversation drive me insane. Like the people that will just sit there and be like, this is what happened to me, and like, yep, that was wrong, that was blah blah blah, instead of being like, hey, do you think maybe
Everyone's
you affected
so
this
scared,
person?
though. And like people are just scared to like trigger.
Honestly though, I'm guilty I get guilty of that. Like I don't want to have that conversation because I don't want to deal with the backlash. So I just would so I don't validate. So I tend to detach because I'm more.
You just go nonverbal.
Yeah, I just kind of back away, which I'm sure is an attachment.
Not helpful.
No, it's really not helpful. I want to work on it, but I'm also like, I don't want to touch that and then accidentally do this. So
So tell me about your child. Like, how did you?
Girl, sometimes she says stuff. I'm like, well, didn't this happen with your family? And she's like, oh.
Isn't it interesting though? Like, I mean, how those
happens to me
formative
all the
years
time,
are
yeah.
like wildly important, obviously, and so how you were raised, like how your needs were met, they're important.
How your family handled it and modeled it. I found out recently that I had like this weird thing as a kid where if like the babysitter or someone else, like basically I got in someone else's car that wasn't my parents or my grandparents, I was like hyper aware of everything that was in the car to the point where I would sit on my hands because I was so freaked out
there might be
by
crumbs.
I didn't like crumbs. I was so freaked out by it I would sit on my hands, and Sarah was like, that sounds like
See, like I was like so hyper aware of certain environments that I was like, okay, if someone steals me, like I need to make sure. That's like me being prepared if I break down.
Honestly, true. Like, whereas I would go to the grocery store and get lost intentionally to see if I could find who my parental would be like. I'm gonna go get lost.
I'm gonna go test. Wait, were you testing?
Hey,
them
that's
yourself?
one we gotta talk about.
I was testing myself.
That's one we should talk about.
Okay, Courtney, you can do this. See, I'd be opposite. I'd be like, I'm gonna peace out and see if they like come
Come
after
get
me.
me.
Oh
because-
no, that was not me at all. I was like, let me see if I can find them, and I'd be purposely like,
Yeah, we're different.
that's funny.
Two
I would
different
just
attachment
follow my
styles.
mom
But did you
around.
sit on your hands in other people's cars?
Not a lot of people
No,
did
I mean, even now, sometimes I'm like, okay, memorize the license plate in front of you just in case, like,
that. Girl, I do that.
and then I'm like, wait, Kelly, that's so mean and judgmental. Because, like, what if someone's looking at your
What if
car?
they're just
You
nice?
just have a pile of lollipops in your
Yeah, what
Yeah,
if you
you
just have a pile of candy in your car?
No.
Seriously. Yeah, guys, I love a good sucker.
Lollipop time. I got a
Yeah.
new one.
No, it's yeah, you get a little OCD in there. I think we all did weird stuff. I become very
still do.
hyper aware of like where I'm staying, and then if it's really bad, I go into acceptance. Like I'm just like because if I don't,
Yeah.
I won't survive the night. I literally bugs are a different story. If there's bugs, I can't
That
function.
was so brave of you. I still am like,
And then we had mice.
I don't
The
go into
mice.
acceptance at
Talk
all.
about trauma.
I don't either.
One day I'll tell the story of how I accidentally washed a mouse. A mouse.
Wait,
A mouse.
you've told us this.
I've told, yeah, but like the general
hasn't told the
population,
public.
like the public, all of our
was
viewers
at
and
our
our
house.
fans. Yeah. I'll just tell it now. I accidentally, a mouse jumped into my laundry basket. I did a load. I feel bad for the mouse, but I also I called Courtney almost crying.
Do you guys humanize things? Because, like, I can't kill bugs because I'm like, what if it's family?
If I think about it too
Honestly,
much, I
same.
can't kill them.
Yeah.
When I trapped the mouse so Courtney could take it outside because I couldn't touch
And
them.
then I couldn't, and Justin had
Justin
to come
had
get
to
it.
come
I was
do
like, no.
But I accidentally named all of them. I accidentally named them and like
accidentally.
yeah, it just happened. I like knew their
Rhonda, you
names.
hear this?
Yeah, Rhonda. I remember only one of them. His name was Raymond.
That's a good name. That's a strong name.
Justin
Well,
threw
there was
him out.
poison all over the house, so the things were like slowly dying. You were around for some of the mice, but I feel like you were also traveling.
She was just in her room.
No, it was around the holidays, so you were probably home
That
too.
happened too.
Yeah.
Because I was also home. Sarah came home first, and that's when we started finding 14
I
mice.
love that
It
house.
was. I loved the house, and because
They
it
were
was
probably
selling,
coming in through the open window.
No, they weren't.
Crazy.
No, they were coming in the. They were coming in that closet that was in the laundry room downstairs.
Oh.
But I literally, I think I was so sad when that house was selling. I was like, I don't want to leave that. I love this
know.
house. And then God filled it with mice. And I was like, you know what? Actually,
get
I
outta
don't
here.
like this house at all.
like
I'm
a
fine with it selling. It was, we had the plagues.
Wait, what was we had like an Irish realtor.
Yeah, his name was Gary. Oh
my God.
He follows me on
Gary.
Facebook, but I didn't know we had a realtor and that he was Irish, like because he had been talking through Lena. So I was working from home one day and I just knock at the door. I open the door. There is a short white man and an Asian woman in front of
I
me.
remember you telling.
And I was like, hi. And he goes, are you Sarah? And I was like,
Are you Sarah?
and I was like, yeah. And he goes, hi, I'm Gary. And I was like, hi, Gary. Yeah. And he was like,
You've been practicing.
I was like, do you know?
She's going on tour.
Yeah, I am. I would also love to do radio. I think it'd be fun. But he literally was like, can I come in? We're selling the house. And I was like,
You're selling my
you're doing
house.
what now? And then he eventually talked to me and we're still friends on Facebook. So shout out, Gary.
Honestly,
It was
I
great
wish
to
I
meet
was
you.
friends with him on Facebook, but
He's
I
a great
deleted
little
my
guy.
Facebook after moving. I don't know why. I was like, I'm done with everything. I'm
Get back on there, girl.
Well, I did, but
Oh.
It's okay. I don't like Facebook. I really dislike it. I'm only on it for Love Heals.
it's very similar to Instagram now, where like I don't see anyone's stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you just see ads, which is super annoying.
Yeah, it's just not even a good use of
Platform
time.
anymore. Oh,
Like
true.
you just shouldn't be like. I hate that when I don't have my phone, I reach for my phone. Like
Do you
I
guys
hate
feel
that.
icky after you like scroll?
Yes.
Like I
Yeah.
actually I feel it. I'm like,
Which I really don't have a problem with Instagram. But if I open TikTok at night,
TikTok's dangerous.
I'll be up till
Dunzo.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's really, the second I open it,
We're basically like
my brain
they
on.
just created a bunch of addicts in all types of ways. So
No, have you ever
Yeah.
seen not the Social Network, the Social Dilemma? Or
yes,
something?
that's what it is.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah,
watched
they-
it yet. I do want to watch it.
It'll make you want to delete everything.
Yeah.
I think that
Because the
sounds
people
awesome.
that created all this stuff, like, I mean, there's so much psych behind it. They created it with the intention of,
Intentionality, yeah.
yeah,
Well, because it's a business.
it is.
They're supply and demand.
That is the thing.
Turds.
Everything's a
Turds.
business, and
Yeah.
we've been talking kind of about, and then like church kind of has become like the Western church is a
Yeah.
business,
Church is
and I'm okay with
1000%
it being a
business.
business. I just wish we could call things what it is at least.
Some honesty.
Yeah.
Like if it's a business because that's just how things function in the West, then that's how things function.
Well, was telling her that
I don't know. I don't know. I just want to start with like, let's at least get to the baseline of like not pretending that things are something other than what they
I
are.
agree.
Well, I was
And maybe
telling
we
her
can go
that
from there.
When I was talking to another friend about this, like when I am looking at a church or like for a church, one of the things I go look at is their giving page.
Yeah.
And I read how it's phrased. Because I feel like that, because I've read a lot that are very give us money and we're going to do X, Y, and Z. I've seen a lot where they just put all the verses on there about joyful giving. And then I've seen some where the wording is a lot more pointed back to God and like what God can steward through. And that's just, it's been kind of fun. I went on like a little kick and I was just like looking up churches and reading their giving pages. Because a lot of it's guilt trippy or a lot of it's like people focused and not God focused. It's just interesting. But yeah, I wish they would either just promote it like a business, like tell people up front, like this is what we're going to be doing with the money, which is why we're very like transparent with funds.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It just always like anytime the topic of that comes up with church, I always think about Jesus like going into the temple and like getting angry.
Flipping them tables.
Do you have any questions or anything that you want to say before Courtney asks her final question?
Is that bad that I don't?
No.
I feel like I should.
No, it's fine. She's gonna ask a question and I'll wrap it.
How have you guys? Do you guys like Outside the Cone?
Love Outside the Cone.
I like they have really good vegan hippo tracks.
That was a good question. Honestly.
That was a good question.
Good cotton candy
Yeah.
ice cream too. So
Oh my
I
god,
love cotton candy ice cream, but I haven't had theirs.
it's good. I've tried it and I don't like cotton
Very
candy.
good.
really good.
Pretty yummy.
It's like really good.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's
Okay,
hilarious.
what's your question?
Okay, last question. Obviously, we talked about things. So if someone's getting started, they're like, so I'll speak for myself, like someone who came from a lot of community and a lot of things, and then without getting into all the things, like that just fell apart. And so you're kind of rebuilding, but it can obviously be overwhelming to rebuild.
Yeah.
Where would you suggest someone start? Like, what's like a really good first step to like move towards a healthy?
That's a great question.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? I love the process of doing a like self-inventory. And that's actually in the 12 steps for like AA, NA, et cetera, et cetera. And when you're like looking to build community, you're obviously looking outward. I think like looking inward also is very something that people need to do more. Not in like a selfish way, like oh, let's get lost myself way. But then like, okay, what attributes and qualities do I have that maybe I should sift through or like work on more or work on less? And also what kind of people do I want to attract?
Right.
Reflection is an incredible tool. And so I would start there. Not to be like redundant, but people need to get involved in the church. But here's the other thing. I think that people need to be people need to be brave. Going out of your way to like meet people and stuff like that is hard. But putting yourself in those situations, I feel like you guys are good at that though.
Really? Not anymore. I think I don't speak for me and you can speak for you, but like I feel like I did have it and then I feel like I lose it. I feel like I have these more like this than I do like as much. I wish I was more like steady doing better, but I more like have moments of it and then I try and put effort and then if it doesn't produce the result I'm thinking it should, I kind of get like, I'm just going to not try anymore and then I'll get new energy and then I'll try and then sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say I think yours kind of attaches to who you're around currently. And if you're around people where your extrovert is being like entertained more often, then you have that momentum to go out and talk to other people. But if we're around people or you're around people where maybe you're not feeling as fulfilled in the extrovert space, then it's almost like that you kind of go on that down spiral of it's harder for you to reach out to people. So I think it does depend a lot on who you're around at that time. for me, I've always been really bad at making new friends or meeting new people.
Really?
It is like, yeah, I'm really bad at it. When she met me,
Hey, would you say you're introverted?
yeah,
That's not a bad thing.
I just learned, I know, but I thought I was an extrovert until like a month ago. And I just learned I'm an
think that
introvert.
people can change as they grow? Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, do you think it depends on stage of life?
Yeah.
I've heard it's ideal to become more middle as you like. So
An ambivert.
yeah, it's better to become more towards that because I used to be extreme extrovert, like couldn't be alone at all and recharge at all. Now I have like I'm still an
People are scared to
extrovert.
be alone now, though.
Yeah, that's true. And I was for sure that, but now I still get refueled by groups of people, but I am a little more balanced. So maybe you're just balancing out.
No, I don't think so, but thanks.
You don't think you're balancing out?
No, I think I learned, since I'm learning I'm an introvert, I realized I need one night a week, like kind of without doing anything, like just to myself. And that helps to like recharge me. But no, I'm not good. I don't think I'm an ambivert yet. I would like to be. I get charged up hanging around with people that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
That charges me up. But as far as like meeting new people, no, I'm horrible at it. Like
Do you
she
guys
had to
feel
force me to be friends with her. I only met you because she kept being like, just come over and hang
then
out at the
you, like,
house. Just blah, blah, blah.
Naturally force yourself on people. I feel
Well,
like.
no, I like remember the first time I met you. I was at the house for whatever reason, probably just hanging out. And then you got home and I didn't know she had a roommate at that point. She's like, oh, this is my roommate, Kelly.
This is her.
Yeah, and then you just kind of paced back and forth. I was sitting in that little couch in the living room. Yeah, I don't even remember what, but you were like, blah, 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 blah. And then you kept like leaning in the doorway
Was it what I was
dramatically.
talking about earlier, too?
I don't know. And I literally remember I was like, I like these people. I could live with them. And that was like way before.
voila.
And then I did. But yeah, other than that, I'm horrible at making friends. People have to take me to things. Like a dog.
I mean, what Courtney was saying earlier, anything worth getting is, you kind of got to put effort into.
Gross.
It's just, but you have to have stamina to keep
You do.
trying
And
because you might not get it
I
right
get
every time.
discouraged
I was
easily.
gonna say sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah. And sometimes you're in a stage of life where you literally can't. Like, if I was in my little depressed mode, like I was a couple years ago, I'm not going out of my way to meet no one. And anytime I do, then I'm like, my baseline's usually really high, and like I can get like over the top, overstimulated, everything, and then shut down way too fast.
Yeah, that kind of.
Do you guys think it's hard to meet new people here? Because I mean, you've been in Lynchburg for
Yes.
longer now, and everyone has their like pockets. You know, Lynchburg, etc. has all. You know who's here. You know who's there. You know who's there. Even with all the new people that come in each year, it's like same
And they're
with the
all
churches.
students
and,
too.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't want to hang out with students. I'm too
'cause people
old.
do stay here.
They do. We were talking about this yesterday, actually, that I feel personally like it's hard to meet new people because they either already have their groups or they're like married with kids, which is just a very specific stage of life. And like we have
That's
lots
a
of
whole other
friends.
topic we could do.
We have lots of friends who are married with
I was
kids, and
gonna
it's
say,
fun to hang out
being
with
friends
them.
with people not in the same stage is also wildly important.
But
It takes both sides to be intentional.
that too, yeah.
And I used to hate the word intentional and what else, season, and those were overused in school.
yeah.
But they're important, and it's hard.
are.
And I think like also recognizing when like, yeah, you can be intentional and put all this time and effort in, but if someone's not giving back, then okay, it's okay.
It's okay
be
to let
like,
it go.
All right, let's no longer try this.
Yeah. Well, and then I think making sure you don't put an unrealistic expectation on people.
Idealized expectations.
Yeah, because you can be like pursuing a friendship or a group or whatever, and then maybe you get into that friend group or you start hanging out with that person more, and you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought. And that for me, sometimes if I have an unrealistic expectation, that's discouraging as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't.
Same. I mean, and
this
that's just
wasn't
like
good.
a natural human thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even feel like I gave you an answer realistic. It's like, get out of your comfort zone. But
Do
like,
it, lady.
No, I like the self-inventory. I think that's a
that
really good
self-inventory is always a good place to start. Because, I mean, my therapist used to have me do that. And, like, it was, like, 4 things. Even just, like write down what activities you like to do. And just kind of having it all there. It made me, like, first of all, really appreciative of myself. And not in, like, an icky way. Just like, thanks,
Gross.
God.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not horrible.
Yeah, like, one of the things I love about myself recently is, like, I love, like, how curious God made me. Like, I want to learn everything. Like, today I saw some construction workers, and I was like, I wish I could work with them for a day.
She loves doing
I'm
that.
like that as well.
Like, why is
Yeah.
there not a program where you can
try
this
everything
job
for a
day?
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
keeping that in mind, like you're curious. I know if I'm not like excited about learning something, I might not be in a good spot. So pulse check.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What's wrong? So yeah.
Okay,
Anyway.
in the interest of time, because we're going to send Kelly back to Maryland in express shipping FedEx box. So thank you for doing this.
Guys,
We're stuck together forever, the three of us.
It's crazy because
bonded.
I don't even really remember any of us meeting. And, you know, in my brain, I'm like, that's a good sign always.
And
It was just a blur, and then we were together forever.
Amen.
And like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how long we go without talking. It's like, you know? Right, LaRonda?
Ray Lorenda. Lorenda, go ahead and cue us
I
out.
can't wait to have LaRonda around all the time.
Thanks, Kelly. We're going to miss
guys.
you.
I'll be back.
She'll be back.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, kids, that was
Did
it.
you make this sound?
No.
No, it was